It takes an enormous amount of courage to end a relationship with someone who's incredibly wrong for you. And you would think that it would be easy. You think it would be easy to walk away from the wrong person. But for the people who have a hard time seeing their value, for the people who are terrified of being alone, for the people who have never seen healthy relationships modeled to them, for the people who are used to being in relationships where they're not treated well, ending that relationship means stepping into the unknown, not knowing when they're going to meet someone again, not feeling totally certain of the fact that the person is wrong for them, not feeling really good enough, and having thoughts like no one else would really want them. That just takes so much incredible bravery. And we don't give enough credit to people who do this. And look, it's easy to say if you're on the outside looking in and you have a good friend who's been in a relationship with someone who's just, horribly mismatched or just not a good person to them. And maybe you've been giving this person advice over and over and over, weeks, months, and even years, like, you have to leave this relationship. Like, when is this person going to wake up and choose themselves and get out of this? And it can be very frustrating and hard to watch someone we care about do this and stay in these relationships. And we think, like, isn't it just obvious to them? And it's not always so obvious. And it's incredibly terrifying. And you think that that's the best that you can do. And you don't really have a clear sense of what is tolerable versus intolerable in a relationship. And maybe you don't have a lot going on outside of the relationship. So you feel even more dependent on this connection. And you feel lonely when you're not in a relationship and you think this is better than nothing. That step of finally drawing the line in the sand and saying, you know what? I would rather face the unknown, or I'm going to face my fears of being alone, of not being good enough, of losing this connection, of thinking that maybe it's my fault. I'm going to risk all that because I know that to stay in this any longer means that I am going to continue to really sabotage my overall well-being. And I'm not going to do that anymore. I am going to choose myself. And I'm going to give myself a new lease on life, a new opportunity to live a life that feels right. And I'm going to give myself the opportunity to meet someone who's actually right for me. And I'm going to give myself the opportunity to work on other parts of my life so that I never find myself in this kind of scenario again. And so that takes courage. And I don't want you to take that lightly. And just know that, it's going to take everything you have to make this choice, but you will not regret leaving a relationship where you are disrespected, chronically disrespected. You're never going to regret that. But what you are going to really be proud of is yourself. And all I can say is trust your instinct. You know deep down when something is not right and something doesn't feel right. And you may miss this person. Allow yourself to grieve. But I promise you that the pain of grieving that relationship is going to be minuscule in comparison to the pain that you will experience knowing that you compromise your well-being and your precious time and energy in something that was terribly wrong for you.